What's up, everybody? This is Mehrbon Ranchad, host of the Tennis Files podcast and the Tennis Summit. And this year is going to be the fourth year of my online tennis conference that I call Tennis Summit. And I'm really proud to say that we have a lot of amazing coaches bringing you online lessons, presentations, and masterclasses on strategy, technique, fitness, and the mental game. And I wanted to give you a preview of one of the sessions. And this one is by Gregg Le Sueur from Online Tennis Instruction, one of the best instructional sites on the planet. And he's going to be talking about return of serve progressions. And this is something that we definitely do not practice enough, but it's extremely important to get the return right if you want to be able to break serve and gain the edge against your opponent. So without further ado, I'm going to give you this preview with Gregg Le Sueur. Enjoy.
All right, so Chris, we're now going to add the feet. So we've worked on the upper body, talking about the swings, but now let's add the footwork. And there's a very specific footwork we want to use. We talked about lining up, but then we also want to talk about the split step, but also getting forward momentum. So, you know, what we see for most players, a lot of players, we'll see them try to get some kind of forward momentum where they actually will kind of step forward into the split. That way they're able to then move forward, diagonally forward, and cut the angle off. Now, if you look at Djokovic, he just does a normal split step. He does a split step, and then he's able to then step up but still go forward. We see Federer does this on a first serve return. On the second serve return, Federer will then step forward with his left foot. That's what we see with the majority of players that return aggressively close to the baseline. They take a step forward and then they will split, and the idea is they want to be airborne at the time their opponent is striking the ball. So that when the ball leaves their strings, they're coming down, and then they're stepping out in the direction where the ball's coming. So if it's a forehand, they'll step out with the right foot. If it's a backhand, they're going to step out with the left foot. So what we're going to add here is the footwork, where we're going to take a step forward, we're going to split, and then we're going to step out. We're going to start with the forehand side first. Now, what we see in our clinics, a lot of people try to do the footwork, and they do it so fast that they just kind of end up falling over. So what we're going to have Chris do, we're going to actually have him kind of hold each position, so nice controlled steps. So first thing here, we have a good ready position. We're going to pretend it's coming to his forehand side. So he's going to take a step forward, and you know this would happen around about the time that your opponent is lifting the arm up to toss the ball. You take a step forward and you try to read when they strike the ball, so that you're at the highest part of your split when they are striking the serve on the other side. So it's going to be forward, split, step out. I'm just going to hold this position right now, and you'll see I have a half turn position. Chris, you'll see how my strings are pointing slightly forward like this. My left arm is across my body. Okay, this is really key. So we're just going to get into that position first. So we're going to go forward, split, step out. This is your lineup. But see how I'm stopping in each position. Let's have you try that, Chris. It's a good ready position. We want to make sure our elbows are in front of our hips. So it's forward step, split, step out. Good. Now you'll notice that when Chris did this, he started a little further back to account for that forward step. And something to keep in mind, this is something I heard from Jose Aguirre when I was out in California. He was saying a lot of times players will overcommit the step on the first serve return. So what happens is they take too big a step and then they're falling too far into the court. So keep that in mind when you're returning the first serve. You want that forward momentum, but you don't want to kind of overcommit going forward because you cannot recover for the next shot. Let's try it one more time on the forehand side. So it's forward, split, step out. Very good. Okay. Now Chris is trying to put it together. So Chris is going to then, it's basically the 4 steps. So you're going to go forward, split, step out, balance there. This is where people kind of miss that load step, and then transfer through, right? So if you count it, it's 4 steps. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see you do that, Chris. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Right, so I recommend you try these steps at home, and if you have to pause the video and just work on these steps. And I find that the footwork's hard to think about when you're returning the serve. So I think I've given Chris homework before where I told him just to shadow swing the footwork so that when the ball's coming to him in a real live situation, he's not thinking about it, just kind of the feet kind of find itself, all right? Let's do the same thing on the backhand side. The only difference is that I'm going to step forward with the same foot. Now what we find is most right-handed players, they will lead with the left foot. But find something that's comfortable. I think it has to do with foot dominance. Sometimes people want to lead with their right, but usually lefties will step forward with the right foot and righties will step forward with the left foot. But regardless, you want to step forward with the same foot because you don't know if you can get a forehand or a backhand. So he's going to step forward, split, he makes his grip change, and he'll step out and just hold this position. So let's see you do that, Chris. Forward, split, grip change, step out. That'll be next. Forward, split, step out. There you go, good. Forward, split. So there you see how Chris missed that step out, slow it down a little bit. Forward, split, step out, there you go. Now of course that step out will depend on how far the ball is away from you. So if the ball is further away, after the split you take a bigger step so you can cover more ground. It's actually amazing how much ground you can cover that way. But if the ball's into your body, we may see it a little closer, we may see more of a pivot step there. And then if the ball is particularly to the forehand, if it's right at you, you may even see players who actually bring the foot back a little bit to make room. So there's a little bit of adjustment, but when you're working on this, try to make it a step out, so for those wider serves, you're able to cover enough ground. Say it one more time, Chris. That's forward, split, grip change, step out.
All right, I really hope you enjoyed that fantastic on-court lesson from Gregg Le Sueur. And if you want to watch the full lesson from Gregg for free, in addition to over 30 other presentations and on-court lessons and masterclasses just like what you watched, but the full length of that, then you'll definitely want to go to tennisfilesummit.com. And you can check out the link below the video, and I'll also have it right here, right about now, somewhere on the screen. But I really highly encourage you to check it out. You can go to tennisfilesummit.com, register for free, and you can even check out all the videos for free for a limited time as well. And there's also a lifetime access option if you're interested. But either way, you'd definitely be making, I think, a mistake if you are really passionate about improving your tennis game and you didn't check out the summit. It's got just so many amazing coaches on there, like I mentioned at the top of this video, and it's something where there's a session there to improve every single part of your game. So highly encourage you to check it out, and I really appreciate you watching this video. And if you like this video, please hit subscribe and the like button. But first and foremost, and most importantly, go to tennisfilesummit.com, check out the link below the video, and I'll see you at the summit.